Welcome back. If you've just joined us, you're watching the news at 10, broadcasting on Channels Television live from Lagos. A quick reminder of our top stories now. The death toll from the bombing that rocked two satellite towns in Abuja rises to 20. President Muhammadu Buhari condemns bombing, instructs the armed forces to crush Boko Haram insurgents. 199 Nigerians resident in the Central African Republic, displaced by the armed conflict in that country, return to Nigeria. In the United States, the United Nations describes the airstrikes on a hospital in the Afghan city of Kunduz that killed 19 people as tragic and possibly criminal. Do remember that all our top stories can be found on our website, channelstv.com, and on youtube.com/channelsweb. Visit m.channelstv.com to view us live on your mobile device. You can also download the Channels TV app for Android, iOS, and Windows phones from their respective stores. When you're done downloading, we do urge you to please interact with the Channels Eyewitness feature on our Android, iOS, or Windows platforms. If you've got pictures or videos to share with us, simply tap on the Channels TV app on your device. Swipe to reveal the Eyewitness menu and follow the instructions. Residents of Kuje, one of the major bomb attack sites, are having a difficult time coming to terms with the Boko Haram attacks carried out in their area yesterday night. The market site where the attack was carried out is currently deserted as the residents ask the government to come to their aid and forestall a recurrence. Our correspondent, Lanre Lasisi, reports.
But the second site is where a crowd is gathered. They stand by, just looking. We are at the scene of one of the major bomb blasts that occurred here in Abuja, and this is the marketplace in Kuje. You can see the scene left the way it was as it happened. Some of the wares that were, thrown, just left as the bomb went off. It might have been late in the night, but you just have to imagine what was happening here around that time. Is a neighborhood market. The inner market would have been closed, but outside it would still have been a little bit busy. People coming out, buying fruit, trying to get from one place to the other. The market, which should be busy at this time, is empty, except for some residents. Well, this is the market. Right now it's closed. Nothing much is happening. People are still trying to understand and come to grasp with what happened yesterday. I'm here now with someone who said he came on the scene immediately the explosion took place.
I show this one come flow for here. I show this one flow for here. Now he will rush come here. Before we come here, the machine we can't see one machine they burn. So we can't see the body for ground. About 70 or 80 people for ground before police people come. People who did yesterday, I swear the thing happened. They passed about 300 or 3,000 people because people did plenty for here yesterday.
Okay.
Because by that time they never close. People did plenty. Everybody is busy. So I swear the thing happened. Now anybody who can see the dead body, you go see people go around. Before now, they can't call police people can't secure the place, pursue everybody.
Where we want to see busy of this place, morning to 11 to 12. If you want to come and see busy of this place, see all those places, people are sleeping here, around this place, both the other side to this side. Inside the market. When you enter here in the night or in the 11, you will see people around this place busy all the time. Please, we beg the government, we don't want this kind to happen again. Now I'm afraid now.
We also checked the Kuje General Hospital where the injured were rushed to. The medical director says most of the victims have been transferred.
Kuje Hospital had received 18 patients, 2 children, and about 13 of them severely injured and transferred to National Hospital. Others were seen as an emergency patients and referred home. And this hour, we just have a young man left who will be taken to the National Trauma Center in the next 30 minutes.
The last victim in the emergency ward says it all happened in a flash.
When I did for Baki Road yesterday around 9, just I see one black motor pass, just after the motor pass. So I see myself inside the ground. Before I know, I see myself here. So now only that I want to do it because now only that one I know it.
Security officials say they're doing everything possible to reassure citizens and bring the activities of those behind this carnage to an end. Lanre Lasese, Channels Television News.
The president is promising Nigerians that his administration remains committed to crushing extremism and eradicating violence in the country, while condemning in the strongest possible terms the latest terror attacks in Abuja. President Muhammadu Buhari says that the attacks in Maiduguri, Yola and Abuja were apparently timed to coincide with the Independence Day celebrations, where Nigerians will be commemorating and rejoicing on the October 1 day celebration. President Buhari condoles with the families of the dead and prays for the speedy recovery of the injured. The president says, quote, "These cowardly acts expose the real face of the planners and perpetrators of these crimes. What quarrel do they have with the good people of Nyanya Motor Park? What issues do they have with innocent people in marketplaces in Maiduguri, Yola and Kuje?" According to the president, it is clear that the battle is not ideological and it is between the forces of peace and order and the evil forces of murder and destruction. He adds that security forces and other local authorities have been instructed to maintain extra vigilance to forestall future attacks, saying that the government is determined to stamp out Boko Haram and all other terrorist organizations of whatever persuasion and bring all sponsors to justice. Well, the bombings in Kuje and Nyanya at the Federal Capital Territory in Abuja have been condemned by the President, Muhammadu Buhari, and the Speaker of the House of Representatives, Yakubu Dogara. Well, they say that the Boko Haram sect's defeat is as sure as tomorrow's sun. Now, joining me on the news at 10 to further look at this incident is the Special Advisor, Senior Special Advisor on Media and Publicity to the President, Mr. Femi Adesina. I want to thank you so much indeed for joining us on the news at 10. Tell us, with this detailed security that we have in the country, especially in Abuja, the center of government, we haven't had this kind of attack in the past for some time now, at least I can remember to this time, 4 months down this administration. What have we missed along the line?
Well, I would say these are the last desperate kicks of a dying horse. It's true for some time we have not had such incidents in Abuja because the insurgents were effectively put in check. And you know there is a deadline to end this whole madness, which is December. I think it was just a desperate act for them to show that they were still there. But that will not even be enough to prolong the days of the insurgency. It will end, and it will end conclusively.
Well, this is one attack too many people say. What, in your view, should be the focus of the security forces now that the Defense Ministry is asking that you recheck your strategy?
Yes, because it's not conventional warfare. And wherever this has happened in the world, you find pockets of attacks still coming like this. Soft targets, markets, bus stop shelters, IDP camps has happened recently. It's a characteristic of non-conventional warfare. But I believe that when they are stifled of materials completely, they are stifled of supplies, they are stifled of materials to even build the IEDs, at the end of it all, this madness will come to an end.
Let me just put you on hold there for a minute or two, because I'm also having in the studio joining me is Professor Yomi Akinyeye of the Department of History and Strategic Studies, University of Lagos. You just heard him there, sir, the Senior Special Assistant to the President, Mr. Femi Adesina. He's also talking to us from Abuja. You just heard him now. What, in your view, should be the next step for the government?
Well, this is a worrisome development. The government should intensify intelligence gathering, should also intensify community participation in the counter-insurgency struggle. I say it's worrisome because it's beginning to exhibit the characteristics of normal insurgency movement and activity. They don't hold on to grounds. When they see you are strong in a position, they abandon you and leave and give you the wrong impression that you are having the upper hand. They then wait patiently, look at where you are weak, and then strike when you least expect them.
But where does this latest attacks in Abuja, where does this place the government's negotiation plans with Boko Haram?
Well, it simply means that the government should constantly be on its guard. Boko Haram may say it is negotiating, but that would be just to buy time to re-strategize, to refortify, and to redirect their attention. They are seeing that government forces are strong in the northeast, and now they are diversifying their movement and moving to other areas where in their assessment and evaluation of situation, they think the government is not as prepared as in the area of concentration.
Okay, let me return to Mr. Femi Adesina in Abuja. The president, in his statement, let me just read this very quickly, said this evening that all sponsors of terrorists will be brought to justice. How is he going to get them?
That's why this is government. Government must have capacity. And for the president to have said that, he is just reaffirming the capacity of government. Government has the capacity to get those who sponsor terrorism, and this government will get them.
How are you positioned to help those who find themselves, unfortunately, in this kind of situation where they have been attacked?
Well, it was announced earlier, all those who are in the hospitals, government is going to take care of their medical bills, and no effort will be spared at rehabilitating anybody that has been caught in these unfortunate attacks.
All right, let me put you on hold there for a minute or two and also talk to a professor in the studio with me here. Is negotiating with Boko Haram the solution to insurgency in Nigeria?
Well, I don't think so, because to start with, Boko Haram does not have a clear-cut demand. Their demands are so amorphous, so diverse and diffuse that you don't know what will form the basis of negotiation. They want, as the name implies, Boko Haram, an end to Western education, an end to Western civilization, an end to anything that they consider is against their worldview. Is government going to say, okay, we agree with you, there will be no Western education in Nigeria again, or we are going to Islamize the country, or we are going to do all of this? So the basis, the article of negotiation, the points of negotiation to me are still worrisome. I don't know how you articulate this and have a basis of agreement with Boko Haram. On the other hand, I refuse to believe they are serious about negotiating with government. Otherwise, while they are trying to get government to believe that they are negotiating, they are striking here and there, still sending their message.
Let me put you on pause. Mr. Femi, you just heard him. Do you believe that Boko Haram are not serious when they say they are negotiating with the government? Is this a fluke?
Yeah, the president made it clear. If it is established that it is the genuine leadership of Boko Haram that is committed to peace, committed to negotiation, committed to ending the insurgency, government will be willing to negotiate. That means government is not going to negotiate on bended knees. Government is not going to negotiate from a position of weakness. But we know that wars all over the world, however fierce or furious, oftentimes end around the negotiation table. So if Boko Haram is keen at negotiating, and it is the original leadership that comes forward to do that negotiation, the government will be willing. That's the position of the president, and I believe that that position subsists.
I want to thank you so much indeed for your time and your thoughts, Mr. Femi Adesina, the Senior Special Assistant Media and Publicity to Mr. President Muhammadu Buhari. I want to thank you so much indeed for your time and indeed your thoughts. And also to you, Professor Yomi Akinyeye of the Faculty of Defense and Strategic Studies, University of Lagos. Many thanks indeed.
Thank you.
And still ahead on the news at 10. The Edo State Police Command bursts kidnapping syndicate. We have that story coming up just after now. Join us again.